WRPB and WRPB Studios. Okay, so for a while now, I've been promoting a place called Coquina Cove, and it's in Palm City, and it's become kind of like my second home. And the people there are pretty amazing, and the facility, which is it's apartments, but it's really not. It's really its own little village in my eyes. And if you go, you'll see a ton of footage from Family Fun Day and all the things that they do for their residents, which is pretty amazing. But it all started probably years ago with the gentleman next to me and Jeff, who's been on. This is Alan Rose. Alan, how are you?
Good, Wayne.
Okay, so Coquina Cove came later in your life. Okay, but how did it all begin? I know you were in construction, I believe.
Yes, I was in the pavement business and I wanted to move to Florida, so I sold the business in 2015 and started looking for investment, real estate investment. And lo and behold, we came across Coquina Cove Luxury Apartments and we purchased it in January 2017.
How did you connect with Jeff?
Jeff and I knew each other from Chicago, and we had some of the same acquaintances. And Jeff and I bought a couple of smaller apartment units in Chicago just to see how the partnership would work,
Right.
and we had good synergies. And so, therefore, we tested it out for 5 years, and hey, we want to be partners. So, Jeff and myself both moved down to do Coquina Cove.
So I'm at the Stuart Martin Chamber and I'm on the board, and Jeff is there with me on the board, and we kind of met through the chamber, which that chamber has been a blessing for me. But we kind of connected, and so my first experience with Jeff and Karen, his wife, is I would go and I'd go, you know what? I don't think he likes me. He never says hello or anything. Until finally someone said, you know, he's kind of reserved and he'll get to know you once he gets to know you. So that was how that came to pass. And I kind of like let it take its flow. And we've gone out with them and we've gotten really close with Jeff and Karen. And then you came into the picture for me, I think was last October at at your event.
Makes sense.
Okay, and I'm like, you guys donated 10 grand to the Humane Society. I have that on video, and we posted that all over.
Yeah.
And I guess you guys so believe in charity, but why did you pick Humane Society?
Well, they were very cooperative in doing the event with us. They agreed to set up a couple of booths to talk about Humane Society to the 180 people that showed up at the barbecue.
It was great.
And this year's barbecue, matter of fact, is Friday, October 26th.
We had a great time. My wife came out. She doesn't go anywhere. She came out, and we had a great time. We sat with Joe, people from the chamber. My wife has a bad back, a bad knee. So she always feels bad that she says, you know, I'm stopping you from networking. I said, no, you're not. I'll walk around and I'll just go around and talk to the people. And I know a lot of people, even the residents now. Okay, and you have one resident there since the beginning.
Correct.
Okay, and he's a sweetheart. What a nice guy. But everybody, it's okay. I've been in HOA communities before. Never have I seen an HOA community that does as much for their residents as you guys do. I mean, I don't think a weekend goes by that you don't do something. And you have Sunday Fun Day or Fun Day Sunday.
Yes, it's called Fun Day Sunday.
Okay.
We do it monthly.
Okay, and how did that come about?
Well, I always had an ear for marketing, and I know our residents, if we keep them happy and they enjoy living there and make it more of a community feel, it will help it retain the folks that rent from us. So it was just a natural progression of showing that we care. And I personally love to go to the Fun Day Sundays because we have live bands. We have a gourmet pizza, and some people bring their own adult beverages, and
You.
it works out, me
You bring
included,
your own adult beverages
and my friends,
and your friends.
yeah, it
And
works out great.
so there's one lady that came there, and I guess I don't want to belittle what she does, but she kind of serves and helps out.
Right, she's a friend, but also she helps bartend
She's the hardest
for
worker I've ever seen.
for the group that I have, and if we have like homemade cookies or someone's birthday, she'll hand out the cookies and cake to the hundred and some people that are around the pool.
She's a sweetheart, hardest worker I've seen. Okay, and then some of your other friends I kind of connected with, and some were, this last time were from Chicago.
Yes, I had a few visitors from out of town.
So and you can't ever talk about Sunday Fun Day without talking about your dog, right? Your dog
Thank you,
seems to
Ginger. Yeah, she's almost 16 years old.
really.
Yeah,
So she comes and hangs out, doesn't cause any trouble like the rest of your group.
right.
Okay, like the rest of your group.
Yeah.
All right, so you have Coquina Cove. You still have those other apartments in Chicago?
I don't. I sold my portion to Jeff,
Okay.
and I know he still has some of the inventory in Chi-Town.
Well, again, no disrespect to Jeff, but he's a lot younger than us.
He is younger. Yes.
He's younger than us. So he could get away with taking care of that and going to Chicago. Do you still go up to Chicago?
I do in the summer months when it's warmer.
Okay. You have Coquina Cove. Is that it for you now at this point in your life?
Well, that's the only apartment community that I own. Jeff and I are actively seeking one more in the Martin County area. So hopefully we'll be successful in bidding on another community in the future. But once we get that, that'll be about it for me in the apartments.
Right. Do you have anything else that you?
I have 4 or 5 industrial buildings.
Oh, okay, you do.
Uh huh. And I still have about 15 employees if you count Coquina Cove.
Well, Coquina Cove, you call them employees. They look at like you and Jeff as family.
Right.
Okay. I have yet to. I come from PSL and I go down to Coquina Cove a lot. And I feel like it's home for me. Everybody there is so amazingly nice. And I said to my wife, if we didn't own a home and my business wasn't in Port St. Lucie, even if it was, I would probably move there. Okay. The apartments are amazing and kept unbelievably well. It's pet friendly. Okay. But over and above that, the thing that makes it for me is how accommodating everybody that works there is. I mean, things don't look, we're only human, but I have yet to hear any negative because I interview the people for Coquina Cove.
Right.
And nobody ever talks negative about anything that goes wrong. And they all look forward to the events. And it's a mixed community, meaning it's not a 55 or older.
Correct.
So there are kids there.
Absolutely.
And you have the pool. You have a gym.
We have a fitness center. We have a business center. We have a dog park. We have a mile walking trail. We have a 5-acre lake. It's catch and release if you care to do the fishing. And we have a car wash. And we have our own storage facility on site.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
So I can tell you the only negative that I've ever heard, and I don't know if you've heard it, but when you have Sunday Fun Day, you come with an air horn. Okay? And I hear about the air horn. I wish you'd stop blowing that air horn. But
Yeah.
that was the only negative I've ever heard. The other thing I heard was that you're really pretty particular about the bands that play there.
You're correct. I need to make sure we have some of the best talent that Martin County has to offer.
Okay, so do you pick the bands that go there?
I don't, but I have a little bit of help with my leasing professional. Casey will interview usually a couple of bands for each month, and she'll get my input, and we'll select the band to play for the particular event.
So the last event that I was just at, Casey said, this is Alan's favorite band. Is that your favorite? Was that your favorite
It
event?
was one of my top favorites. Yes.
Okay, and I meant to thank you because every time I've been there, that you've been there covering something, you always seem to get up and say and mention WRPB and that we're out filming, and it's always good since you're into marketing. It's always good to hear your name as a company that's
Absolutely.
out there, but it's run really pretty smooth, and I have dealings with the employees a lot,
Right.
and and of course I see Jeff at the chamber and the board meetings, and we hope that he's feeling better today. But his Harvey is that the name of his
The
dog?
dog. Yeah.
Harvey was there. A little nerve wracking because that dog is probably smaller than these two cups put together.
Right.
Okay, and there was probably about 70 people there today,
Yeah.
and we didn't want to get him stepped on. So you have Coquina Cove. You go and you live in Palm Beach County somewhere, right?
I do. I live in Boca Raton.
Okay, so you come up, and I know you come up in a van, right?
Sometimes we call it the Land Jet.
The land-
It's a Mercedes Sprinter van that has comfortable seats in the back, and it's onboard restroom,
Really?
sink, and a microwave. Yeah.
Oh wow, it's funny because you would almost think, as much as he cares about the residents, he is there to, for lack of a better word, it's a relaxation day for you.
It is.
Okay,
It is.
I mean, you come. Not the last time. The time before last, you had your own masseuse.
We always bring a gal that gives chair massages
Okay.
to about a dozen people.
And again, I think the cool thing about what they do is it's not. Surely he has his group and they take his corner, but everybody is invited to be part of everything that goes on in that group.
Most definitely.
Okay, and that's I think why the residents are always are long term. Now I know that most of the time you're almost 100% full.
Right.
Okay,
We have a few vacancies now,
but they'll be filled.
yes.
Okay, I mean, again, your property manager and your team there just seems to do the right job, and all you have to do is come to a Sunday Fun Day or one of the events and talk to any of the residents. I have yet, like I said, I interviewed a ton of them, and nobody has ever said anything negative. Sometimes they were a little scared to get in front of the camera, but that's people in general.
Right.
Obviously, not none of your group was scared to be in front of the camera. Just saying.
Okay, good.
Okay, just say they're there to have a good time. And ironically enough, not this time, the month before. So we were in March was the last one
Yes.
because I think this one's April 21st.
I think we had one beginning of April because March might have gotten rained out. I think.
I don't
We had it
remember.
like April 3rd or
Well,
something.
not this last one. The one before
Maybe
that,
February.
I took some pictures and posted them on my Facebook. And I get a call from somebody I'm working with and said, I know Alan. I was there one weekend, one fun day with him. And we had a great time. I said, it just confirmed that where they used to say 4 and 6 degrees of separation, it's now like 2 degrees of separation. And this world has gotten so close because of the internet, which is a blessing and a curse, obviously. And I think that if you go to Coquina Cove and you watch some of the videos, you will see how the residents react to the days that they do stuff. But you'll also see the apartments and how well put together they are. I mean, the place is always clean. I have yet to see anything out of place. And again, I've lived in HOAs before, and I lived in an apartment community when I moved down here.
Sure.
Actually, I lived in one, two, three apartment communities when I moved down here, and they didn't do hardly anything for the residents. And then I lived in HOAs where we owned the house, and they didn't do anything for the residents.
Right.
Okay, and yours is a rental complex. You have, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you have 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms?
We do.
Okay, and again, everything is kept so nice. Now, who puts the events together?
We have a small committee, a couple of the gals in the office, and sometimes we elicit one of our maintenance techs. And myself, we're kind of involved, and we meet monthly and go over what we're going to do, usually 60 days ahead of time.
Oh, wow. Well, it's always well prepared. I cannot argue any of that. And I think that going out there and just taking a tour will kind of enlighten you. And if you're surely looking to live somewhere, that's the place to live, in my opinion. Do you know the address?
I have it here on my card. It is 3641 Southwest Coquina Cove Way, Palm City, Florida.
Okay, so I have to tell you, I've been there a gazillion times, and today I didn't make the turn I was supposed to make, and it put me back on the turnpike. So I had to go an extra 3.6 miles, get back on the turnpike, and come back down 3.6 miles. So you really got to pay attention when you're going places, okay? Especially if you didn't have your GPS on. Actually, I was too busy talking to my wife on the phone. But I have to say that that complex is run so well, and I think that if and when you get another one, I can't imagine it being run any different. Are you looking for something that's already built?
We are. Yeah, we wouldn't develop it.
Well, you were in the development, you were in the construction type end, and that could get to be a nightmare,
Yes.
I would
We're,
think.
we're not looking to redevelop the wheel.
No,
We'd like to find something existing, yes.
how many units are in Coquina Cove?
256.
And what are you looking for now?
We've got one identified now that we're looking at, that's 172 units.
Okay, so that's in the same ball range
Yeah.
as that.
Right.
I got to tell you, check out Coquina Cove. It's probably, it is, it's not probably, it is one of the best run apartment complexes and developments I've seen in my 66 years of living. And I've been in a whole bunch, trust me when I tell you. And I actually love when they message me and say, Sunday Fun Day is this day. Are you coming out? I said, of course I'm coming out. And I used to send Angel, who worked for me, I used to send him, and he had some medical issues, so he's not with us here. He moved out to the west coast of Florida. So it was like me that had to go, and I'm going, oh, this is what I missed? Really? I sent him? This is what I missed. But check out Coquina Cove. Go there. Give them a call. Set an appointment to take a tour. Or just show up. I think, knowing the people that work there, I don't think that you just showing up would bother them at all. And they'd be more than happy probably to take you for a tour. Alan, I want to thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Wayne.
Everybody, it's so important to use a professional and go somewhere where professionals run whatever you're going to do. Otherwise, like I always said, it's going to cost you 5 times more in money and 10 times more in frustration. Use a professional, and guys, we'll be right back.